Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 73 of the Pod of War Gamescast. I'm your host, EOS Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Daz Chris Kelly.
Hello, everyone.
I don't think I said the S in host then, by the way, but we'll move. And, of course, Mr. Xbox Game Pass, CW Lanky.
So I just had some chicken, yeah, Dave.
Okay.
Some reggae sauce of that.
Lovely.
My mouth is still kind of
Still burning.
Still kind of burning. Yeah, that shit's fucking hot, isn't it?
What you need is the much advertised, and I have tried it myself, Chocomel.
Oh yeah, that is good shit.
Chocolate milkshake in a can, and it is. I can confirm. #good shit.
Yeah.
Very good shit.
Spicy shit.
It saves the spice. But anyway, moving on from food, and obviously no football talk. Have you had a good week, boys? It's been exciting. It's been a couple of weeks, which tends to be the pattern.
The sun's out, Dave.
I know. I went out.
Pretty much tropical.
In Taunton.
In Somerset, yeah.
20,000 steps I did yesterday, Craig. I blisters all over me toes.
Nice.
But we're not here to talk about the outside. We're talking about inside. We're talking about shutting the curtains, turning the social medias off, and playing video games. So let's start this week, as we always start, with the rigmarole. Oh, do we start with what the people want, or do we build up to it, Craig?
Build up to it.
Let's
what
build
the
up
people
to
want is the results of who is the champion.
No, I mean, if we have to talk about your shenanigans of logging into the Pod of War Twitter account and then also liking your own thing, Chris Pengelly.
I only voted for myself with my account.
No, you did it with the Pod of War account, because I logged into the Pod of War account and someone had already voted on yours.
Nah.
You can claim ignorance if you want, Pengy. I would have voted for myself for that Pod of War account, and you know it. But anyway, we're not talking about that because Craig will quit the podcast. Craigo, what have you bought? What have you been playing in this last couple of weeks?
So I can't remember what I'd even finished last time we recorded. I can't remember if I finished Resident Evil or not.
You finished Resident Evil. I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, if not, I must have been very close.
Yeah, because I think you were saying Ashley just got kidnapped for like the 17th.
Yeah. I think that might have been the last time she gets kidnapped. So I think I was on like pretty much right near the final boss. So I have now finished it, done the final. I actually first tried the final boss. Quite surprised now.
Oh, I'm a gamer boy.
pretty OP by then. Though. Like the weapons were fucking pretty savage. But the game's great, fucking great. Like if you like those games, just buy the game. It's very good, very good. And the only thing I've really played other than obviously Endless AoE 2 is I've started Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm about 5 or 6 hours in, I want to say. Nice. I did start it because it defaults to the graphics mode, which is ray tracing on, I guess, 4K at 30 frames per second, which lasted about 5 seconds, I reckon. Because I got past the first cutscene. There's a bit where you move. I moved and I started looking around and was like, nope. Absolutely not. And very quickly changed that onto performance mode at 60. I wouldn't say it's a stable 60 by any stretch of the imagination. It's kind of it's not too bad, but it's definitely not like as smooth as you probably expect it to be. The game's pretty fun. It's got quite a very flashy combat system. There's a lot of like particle effects. There's a lot going on, but it's quite simple. There's a lot of just like hold down left trigger, and that kind of auto locks onto people, and then just keep hitting right trigger, and then you cycle through your like abilities, which all just seem to be like elemental stuff. So you can do wind attacks, fire attacks, water attacks. I think I'm on chapter 3 at this point. It's kind of opened up so that it's very open worldy now. It's a lot of go to this gate, press a certain button at this Tory gate, and then that opens up more of the map, and then more side quests open up. Which actually is kind of cool for me because I haven't played a lot of like open worldy games recently. Whereas I used to play them like non-stop all the time. So actually going back to that formula is not too bad. There is a story going on, but I'll be honest, I can't really tell you much about it. It's very much just kind of a lot of like old Japanese like folklore. All the enemies seem to be like that sort of thing. It's pretty fun so far. Like perfect, like a Game Pass game. and I'll definitely keep going and keep getting through it. I don't think it's massively long for an open world game. I think I saw maybe like 20 hours. So hopefully I get through that and then move on to maybe like some Jedi Fallen. I was going to say Fallen Order, Jedi Revenge or something like that, or Hogwarts afterwards.
Very nice, Craigo.
Hell yeah.
Very nice. Well, before we obviously we get to the biggest of dogs, what have I been up to? So I've purchased one video game, and that is Vanquish on sale on my Steam Deck, which cost about £3, I think.
Nice.
Obviously money well spent because it's a great game. I've played like probably like 3 hours of it on Steam Deck. I don't think I'm that far from the end. I think it's a particularly long game, but
the story is the most like 360 gen era
it's the
story
most
ever.
platinum that's ever platinumed, and I love it. It's like
So
I wish the
bad.
Platinum would make a Metal Gear Solid game, because then it would just be complete chaos all of the time. A proper one, obviously. They've done Rising. I know they've done Rising, but the story for Rising is very Platinum. But yeah, Vanquish is great. As for performance, because I know that's one of the things we have to talk about nowadays, runs perfectly in high settings, 60 frames a second. Beautiful goodness on Steam Deck. Might be one of the best games in terms of pure performance I've played on the Steam Deck. It is fully verified and everything, and I love it. It's one of those games that, like, if I was to go to Craig's and be like, "Hey, here is an advert for why you need to buy a Steam Deck," it would be that type. He'd be like, "Okay, this is pretty fucking sick," and yes, that's pretty good. What else have I played on?
That's one of the things with the Steam Deck. It makes that like PS3 360 generation because like really well, like all 60 frames
Yeah.
and stuff like that because of the PC versions of them. So it's like going back sort of thing. It's all like really good.
Yeah, I think any game from about 2006 to like 2018, 2017 is like pretty good. Like runs really well. Like, and it's cool because that's a really good era of games. Like, it's probably my favorite like nostalgic era of games. Because that's when I was like really in my late teens. So I played a lot of games like the Call of Duties run pretty well on it, like the Assassin's Creeds run pretty well on it. All those type of things work really well. And let's say Vanquish runs great. It was very cheap as well. Like I think it was £4. Like, this is the thing with the Steam Deck. Like, I went on there today. I saw the whole Tomb Raider collection. The like new games were like £9 for the trilogy. Like £1 for all these Dreamcast games that I didn't even realize had been ported. Stuff like Revolt and K of the Kangaroo, like stuff like that. And it's like, I've just got all
Yes. K of the Kangaroo.
K of the Kangaroo, the original trilogy, not the new game.
Oh, not the new one.
No, the one that was originally on Dreamcast. But yeah, all these games that you can get on Steam, you can get quite lost. Obviously, I'm trying not to do that because
it also is Golden Week at the moment, I believe. So
yeah, it is Golden Week. So there's a lot of
Japanese games.
The very frustrating thing is obviously my hatred for Square Enix at the moment. For some reason, all their sale games are so much cheaper on Steam. So like the Final Fantasy X collection is under a tenner. Final Fantasy 13 is about £3. Like, why is it so cheap on Steam, but then on like Xbox it'd be like £22.99? Because Rockstar do it as well, right? LA Noir is like £5 on Steam when it's on sale, but it's never less than 17 on Xbox, because I've always got that game on my wish list. Cause I'm like, I want to play LA Noir, but I don't want to pay more than like £10 for it. But yeah, that's it for Steam. Still loving my Steam Deck. I will definitely do a whole 6 months of Steam Deck episode at some point, but for now, not. On the Switch, I've been playing about 2 hours into Fire Emblem Engage, which I bought in February and have only just started, but there we go. It's really good. It's very much a Fire Emblem game. That's kind of my entire review for it so far. It's good, like, don't get me wrong, but it's a Fire Emblem game. Plays like it. Story is a Fire Emblem story. The characters aren't particularly memorable at the moment, but I like it more than Three Houses. But that's about my only comment.
Yeah, I was going to say none of the characters are fantastic compared to Three Houses, or even like Awakening and stuff like that.
Yeah, Three Houses is funny because I don't have the love for it that everyone else seems to have. Like, I just don't think the whole school days thing kind of annoyed me with Three Houses, which this doesn't have. This is much more classical, but the gameplay's really good, and it's a Nintendo game, so it's nothing less than 8 out of 10. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. It runs well, looks great, it's very playable, so I'm enjoying that. I've got a couple of weeks to get that done before Zelda, so we'll see. And then on Xbox, other than AoE, which I'm sure I'm going to talk about again later, I've just been playing Disney Rush with my girlfriend.
Is that the car racer game?
No,
No,
it's
that's
the
the
like
one that was
Connect.
Connect.
It used to be Connect. They've made it with controllers. It's like the most kids game ever, but it's just kind of fun to play with someone who isn't a gamer. Like you just run to the end of the level, do little things. I think it gives out achievements like confetti as well, Craig. So you'd be pleased to hear that.
I feel like
Nice.
I had 1,000 G on it.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's a hard 1000G. There's some like 1% achievements, which is pretty funny. But yeah, like it's just a bog standard platformy, drivey game, like one end to the other game. But it's fun. We're really enjoying it. It's cute to redo the levels. Like she's really into it as well, which is really cute. And yeah, it's really fun. It's that's it really. Nothing on the PlayStation. It's actually not even plugged in. So
Sad times.
sad times. But yeah, and the only other video game thing that I can talk about is I have now seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it's really good. It is probably the most reference-heavy movie I've ever watched. Like from start to finish, there is references to everything, and I can see why it's making all of the money, and will probably pay for the next Switch because it's pretty good. I think wasn't it made like has it made $1 billion yet?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
made
yeah,
it.
like,
Yeah,
it's-
and it only comes out Japan. It might just have come out Japan, but it's coming out for Golden Week.
Yeah,
And
like
Golden Week is
in
at the
Japan,
moment.
it'll make all of the money because like the references are like deep cut references.
Why does it not come out in Japan? What the fuck's that all
We're
about?
waiting for Golden Week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they probably have to record all the Japanese stuff and all that jazz. But like it's
Oh,
good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
good. Hi, if you have kids, go see it. If you like Nintendo in any way, you'll love it. Like it's a pretty outstanding film. They got to be doing a new Mario game with that new console, Pengy. That's another discussion for another day. But yeah, I think that is all I've played.
You say that, but I'm sure I've seen rumours that it's going to be Metroid Prime 4
No,
as
I
like
mean,
the launch game.
well, we can do a whole episode about the bloody Switch. I want to do a whole episode talking about the Asus ROG Ally at some point, or what I've dubbed the Craig deck. But we'll do a conversation about that another time. But
I've forgotten, Serg, as well. As we're talking about multimedia, I've now finished Cyberpunk Edge Runners
oh, nice.
on Netflix. It's really fucking good, boys.
Did Aliens do it?
No,
Oh, I'm
no.
disappointed.
I nearly texted you that, but I forgot. Aliens didn't do it, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Pengles. But it is good shit, even for someone that doesn't really like anime like me.
We've got the new the cheeky DLC coming soon, right?
Exactly, yeah. There's plenty of anime titties as well, Pengy, for you.
Which is all
yeah,
Pengles is really into, to be honest.
Yeah, if you played Cyberpunk, because there's moments in this where it looks like the world looks exactly like the Cyberpunk world that you played it. It is it's really impressive, and the music's very good. So yeah, if you played Cyberpunk, definitely watch this. It's worth it.
Hell,
It's only like 20-minute long episodes as well, which I was all about. After watching fucking Stranger Things, where it's like every episode's like 2 hours fucking long. Moving on to this was lovely.
hell yeah. Right, let's get to it. Chris Pengelly,
Yes.
what have you bought? What have you played in the last?
How much money have you wasted in 2
Yeah.
weeks?
What have you been up to?
Right, okay. So I'm going to go sort of through what I've bought. So I picked up, weirdly, if you remember the last 2 episodes, what console have I actually bought a few games on?
You buy a few games for every console every week, Pengles. You're not narrowing it down for us at all, buddy.
No, I
You
don't
buy a Vita game every week, you know.
You buy stuff for what, like
It's-
the fucking Sega CD, the Saturn? Who knows, Pengy, at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can continue my Nintendo DS buying,
Okay.
which again is sort of been like a random one because I've been looking at 3DS games and I haven't bought any 3DS games.
Nice.
I've been buying DS games. So I picked up Super Princess Peach for the DS.
How much did that cost you, Pengy?
That was £28.
Fucking hell.
Which
Does that seem worth it to you, Dave?
I mean, it's not a
it's
bad
actually
game, but
cheap.
it's not £28 you could have spent on many other things.
it was actually weirdly. So obviously I've seen the Mario movie and I was like, oh, I want to play a Mario game. And I was like, oh, there's the Princess Peach game as well. And I was bidding on one on eBay and I think I bid 20 quid on it or something like that. I think it went for like £46 or something in the end, so didn't win that. And then the next day, I literally saw Insane Games post like they had some trade-ins, and one of them Super Princess Peach. Like I've never seen it in the wild like ever before, and it's like, oh weird. I was just bidding on one of them, and they've just got one in, and it was 28 quid.
So you say you want to play a Mario game. So are you planning on actually playing this, or have you played it?
I've only put it in and made sure it worked.
Oh, Chris!
Nothing is more
He's
predictable.
built us up there, Dave. Oh, I went and watched the Mario movie. I wanted to play a Mario game, so I went out and bought one, and I'm not going to play it.
Why would you play games?
Ah!
Yeah, so
That's
So,
never
yeah.
getting played, guys. That's never ever getting played. I
fact,
bet
it's
it's
more-
like 2 hours long as well.
It's more
like,
likely
No,
that
I
I'll
think it's
play
like
it
10
on
hours.
on bloody Steam Deck via other means than it is for Chris to finish it.
yeah, so the last couple of months, my DS collection's grown a little bit, which is a bit surprising.
Okay, what else have you purchased then?
I purchased on another Nintendo system. I haven't played this, Craig, either. I'm gonna disappoint you now. I picked up Dredge on Switch.
why?
Why not? It looks pretty good. The physical version comes with some art maps, some art cards, and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I picked that up.
You gonna play it?
Yeah, I do plan to play this. It's not like Super Princess Peach where it mostly won't ever get played. Dredge will get played at some point.
Oh, that means it's not getting played then.
It does. That's what that phrase means on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Oh, okay. How much was that then, Chris?
That was £30.
So we're on £58 so far of money.
2 games you're never gonna play.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and at the same time of Dredge, I also picked up Cult of the Lamb on Switch.
And how much did that cost you,
I
Penguin?
thought you'd already played this.
No, I've not played Cult of the Lamb.
Oh.
No.
Have none of us played this.
No, nobody's played it.
That's quite criminal, isn't it?
It didn't come to a subscription. That's why none of us have played
Yeah,
it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you were waiting for it to come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked that up on Switch.
And how much was that, Penguin?
That was also 30.
Okay, so we're on £88. By the way, Cult of the Lamb is currently on sale on Steam for £17.
Yeah, it's 14 quid digital on Switch,
Oh.
but I picked up the physical version.
Oh, that's all right then.
Because he's
Yeah.
not going to play it either way, Dave. So
Yeah, you might as well have it on the shelf. And what was the fourth game
sake.
that you purchased this month, Peggy?
So the next one I purchased, I purchased it a while ago, and we've mostly already talked on the podcast with me buying something to get some bonus points on game collection and stuff like that. So my Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp arrived.
And of course, that was what, another 35, 40?
35
Okay, so that
instead of
takes.
the 45. Yeah, but I paid for that like a month ago.
So that takes
that,
this.
That was
You
like a
still
month
paid
ago.
for it, though.
That takes this 2-week total to over £120.
Yeah, that was like a month ago. Though. Wow.
Still
You've
£120.
still given them your money, Chris.
Yeah. But not in the time frame of the 2 weeks with.
It's a typical Man City fan trying to move the time frame. But it's okay,
We
Chris.
really should have done the yearly, like, how much does he spend on video
Someone go
games,
back,
shouldn't we?
listen to every single episode from this year and let us know, because I'm
Fuck
sure it'll
me,
be
it must
disgusting.
be insane.
I reckon it's like
He could own a fucking yacht
like
for the amount of
it's
money
like
he spent.
15 grand or something stupid.
I don't know if I
Okay.
sold Sackboy within this 2 weeks period. Though.
Did you ever
Okay.
play Sackboy?
No, because no.
Why did you buy it?
It was a tenner, and I thought I might play it, and then it come to Plus.
Kill me.
So did you play any video games, Chris?
Yes, I have played video games.
Okay, well let's
So
If
hear
you
it.
say something stupid like Destiny 2 now, I'm done. Alright, I'm just going to put that out there now.
Okay, so I played the oldest game I've played, so trying to go from when I played it was a Space for the Unbound, which is on multiple systems, but I played on the Switch. So that's where I played it. It's like a point and click adventure game, but the puzzles are kind of simple on it. It does give you like some hints and stuff like that with some of the other characters. It's more about the story between your character and the female lead in the game and stuff like that. Really well done story and like the art, the soundtrack, and that good. I really picked it up. I looked really good when it got reviewed. It's got like an 86 or something on OpenCritic, sort of thing. And then Balor on the GName before played it because it reviewed well, and he said there was nothing to play on the Switch at the time, so he picked it up. He was like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely a Pengals game," so I picked it up in the sale. Yeah, it is really
What
good.
was that?
Fun,
How much was that one?
like £12.
Fuck me, add that one to it then, Dave. Christ.
Oh, I never tell you digital games. I only ever tell you physical games.
There's more.
Yeah, you don't want to know the true cost it is. Chris
Fuck
Pingilly.
me.
Yeah, so I've been playing a Space for the Unbound. So I played and finished that. It's about 12 hours long. It's spread over like 5 chapters and stuff like that, and each chapter is like based on like a different character in this story and stuff. And it's set in like Indonesia, like in the early 90s, and it's got some lore, and it's got lots of animals, like you can pet the cats and stuff like that. So thing, and one of the like achievements, the in-game achievements is
Put that on the box, Dave. You can pet the cats.
no, it is actually the thing, like that Twitter account, like pet the dog or whatever. It's like you pet the dog, and there's actually in-game like a bucket list, and one of them is pet the fluffiest animal. And if I was playing on PlayStation or Xbox, there is like obviously a proper trophy or achievement for, but that sort of thing. Yeah, so played that pretty good. Then after that, weirdly, I actually realized I played a lot of this publisher slash studios games, and so I played one which is free on Steam called A Raven Monologue, which is again like a visual novel sort of game, which is only like 5 minutes long. So yeah, it was free, but I've obviously now played like all 5 of their games and stuff like that.
Because
so-
all 5 of them are like 5 minutes long.
No, Space for the Unbound is like 12 hours long, so but their other games are all pretty short. No, one of the others might be like 3 hours long, but most of them like 5 minutes and stuff like that.
Crikey.
Then after that, so after those 2 games, the big one, Xenoblade Chronicles 3: Future Redeemed, the expansion, and the story expansion of that. It came out, I think it was last week on the 24th, 28th. And I finished yesterday. Really good. DLC of the year at the moment. It is fantastic. Adds to the story of that game, and that game is still so good. I moved it up on my Switch top 30 list. I've now put it in number 3, just below Super Mario Odyssey. Now I've put it on, I think, 54, my top 100 games of all time. It is fantastic. If you like JRPGs, you need to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and it's like when you play this and you play like Pokemon, going on talking about performance, like okay, it's 30 frames. You can tell it's 30 frames, but like it runs like fine. You can walk from the one end of the map, the other end of the map, no problems. And then you've obviously got Pokemon. That's Pokemon, sort of thing. Yeah, but really good title. So yeah, and this is the thing. Like I played like obviously a 5-minute game. Well, this DLC is 18 hours. So yeah.
Fair enough, Chris. Is that everything?
No, I started today, and I got sent a code for this, and it also ties back into a Space for the Unbound, because I mentioned I've played quite a few of their games, and all their games are published by Togi Productions, I believe that is how you pronounce it. It's Toge, Togi Productions. They've published all their games. Unfortunately, can't remember the studio's name, but from Space for the Unbound. They've published all their games and a few other games that I've played and stuff like that. And I got a PR email about this game, and I was like, oh yeah, I just played one of your other games, blah blah blah. And I got sent a code for Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hispus and the Butterfly for the Switch. So I played a little bit of that today. I Oddly, actually played it on the TV, not on the Switch, because like Space Unbound, I did play a bit of that in handheld because it's that sort of game, and I'm definitely going to play like Coffee Talk 2 in handheld. So it was especially with the visual novel art and stuff like that, it'd be great, I expect, on the OLED. So yeah, they sent me a code of that mainly just from chatting about Space from the Unbound and their games and stuff. So
Is that
Thoughts on
everything,
Coffee
Pringles?
Talk, Pengy? Is it good? Is it bad? What's the?
well, I've only done the 2 days at the moment, and so far it's like the music's pretty chill and stuff like that. Like I said, it's definitely a game like if like Davey's Steam Deck. I could see you like playing in bed with like headphones and like the
You
music.
think Dave is going to play Coffee Talk? Pringles?
Never that sort of.
Fuck me, Pengy. That is the
Did you
most
not watch the
wishful thinking I've
last
ever heard.
6 years of podcasts we've done together, Chris?
Christ,
Yeah.
Dave would like vomit everywhere before
Yeah.
getting an hour into this game.
I'd only play it
Crikey.
if I was following along a guide second by second to get all the achievements.
Mm.
And even
But-
then,
Yeah, but like I said, at the moment I actually like put it on the TV because I play a little bit on there, but I will definitely be this like the handheld sort of game on the Switch. And I actually did play a bit of Advance Wars and stuff before the Xenoblade DLC came out. I think I'm on the the third sort of campaign of the first story, if that makes sense. If you remember, Dave.
I vaguely remember. This was 20
Yeah,
years ago, Chris.
yeah.
But is
It's
that
not
it?
a long ass game.
Is that it, Pringles? What,
Fun?
Advance Wars?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
technically
both like
it's
that.
2 games, so yes.
Yeah.
So they're both like 30 hours.
Crikey.
Mm.
We can squeeze that in, Pengy.
Oh, I'll squeeze it in somewhere.
Ain't gonna happen, is it?
Well, he's
Yeah.
got time before he starts hating Zelda.
Yeah, it's like
Soon
you've got like
the prophecy
10
will be
days to-
complete, Craig.
yeah.
God, we need to
10
go
days.
back to the video games we hate and start clipping all the things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Love that. Right, are you done, Pengy? Is that everything?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
ready?
You're not
ready?
gonna remember something like 2 seconds later?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I'm just.
I know you do this to Dave every week. He gets
Yeah.
angry.
It's
Yeah.
true. It is true. As soon as I
I
start
haven't
going,
got any. I haven't got anything else on my finished list, and I went back and looked at my back loggery of what I've purchased. So it should be everything.
love it.
Mm.
Right then, let's get to the topic of the show. Tots. So, topic of the show, before the Zeldas and the Jedi Survivors join our world, is our game of the year so far. So, for the sake of this isn't like a votable thing, so we're allowing remakes, remasters. It's just really our favourite games we've played so far this year. So we're going to start this off in the same order we've just done the last bit with the big dog, and I feel like I'm going to be coming in a lot on this, Craig. But Craig, what are the best games you've played this year so far?
For me, I think I have like a very clear like top 3, and then there's probably quite a bit of drop off, and then I have my special, one that I throw in there. I mean, 2 of the 3 are remakes. I'll put that out there straight away in Dead Space and Resident Evil, because they're just so good remakes that it is kind of crazy how just like ridiculously good they are. I was thinking about this the other day, how like Resident Evil 4 remake is so good, but because like all the other like new Resident Evil stuff they've done, like everyone just expected it to be good and was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's good. But you think if they hadn't done 2 remake and 3 remake and Village and 7 and all that, and this just came out, everyone would be like losing their minds. But no, because the bar is so high for it now, it's like, oh yeah, of course it's good. It's gonna be good. It's Capcom.
It's like the best rated game this year, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
it's
far,
like it's
and like
Capcom. It's Resident
no
Evil.
one's
It's gonna
really
be
talked
great.
about it because it was like, yeah, you're right. Like it literally, like the news was like, yeah, it's still Resident Evil 4, but they've made it better.
Yeah,
And then you're
it's
like,
kind
oh,
of
okay.
weird.
And then everyone's just moved on to the next game.
Yeah. So that, I mean, Dead Space remake is amazing as well. Which I don't know if people were like, obviously the bar was very high for Resident Evil, but obviously no one trusts EA anymore.
Well, I don't know why, because they've been smashing it for the last like 2 years.
Exactly.
But there we go.
Yeah.
Until
That
Star
was
Wars.
until Star Wars, you said?
Yeah, well, all the performance issues and stuff it has.
Yeah, but the
Okay.
game's still reviewing really well, and everyone likes the game. It's just it.
You loved Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's not even go into that.
Yeah.
Mess. But yeah, I mean, Dead Space was awesome as well. So those are probably my top two at the moment. Resident Evil 1, then probably Dead Space second, and then Hi-Fi Rush is probably my like third. Such an awesome game, such a like a out of nowhere like breath of fresh air that none of us were expecting. And then like the kind of like the honourable bunts, I'm sure Dave will talk about as well, is obviously AOE 2 Definitive Edition. So I know it's kind of not really this year, but obviously it came to Game Pass and Xbox this year, and it is just fucking ridiculous. It's just endless content.
They keep bringing more. When we think
Yeah.
we're done, they're like, oh no, here's another fucking
Yeah.
10 races.
Multiplayer is just completely addictive, and like taking over mine and Dave's lives at this point. I think.
Yeah. For context, we've both played over 50 hours of almost exclusive multiplayer.
Yeah. Which you think for two people who don't really play multiplayer games anymore, two old men who don't play multiplayer games
particularly
anymore.
RTS games on console.
Exactly. To be in that situation is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just so well done. The controls are great. I've played it a while actually. I really need to figure out the advanced controls. I need to find some videos and kind of look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to jump on tonight at some point. I
I'm
keep
sure
saying,
I'll be on.
I'm having a knee operation on Monday, so the likelihood is that I'm going to be off work at least a week, and more likely 2. So it's like, and I can't move. All my games consoles are in my room, so it's like, well, sorry guys, like it's going to probably be Age of Empires time.
Terror on one screen and AoE 2 on the other.
I mean, pretty much.
But yeah, that's it for me. Like that's my my very clear top 3, and I think the drop off's like quite big. I'm trying to think what else.
You've forgotten your number 4. Your number 4 is incredibly obvious, and I can't believe that you've forgotten about it.
What's that?
That's Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, that's kind of like cheating though. I guess it's like a port.
But it's new to you. Like, this is what I mean.
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
isn't the rules we have to set because of certain people on the podcast at the end of the year. But like, as someone who's only an Xbox player, you've eaten pretty well this year.
Oh yeah, I
from
mean
Game
Monster
Pass.
Hunter. I've played like 60 hours of it. I love
Right,
that
and
shit.
you've still got some break and
and I've
again,
still got to
endless
finish the
content.
actual game at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monster Hunter Rise is like ridiculous. Obviously, it runs so well on Xbox as well. It looks so good. Can't wait for them to fucking do World 2, what they do next with that. But yeah, I think I've noticed like a drop off down to like Atomic Hearts and games like that.
Yeah.
It's quite mid. But yeah, very, very clear like top 3 of stuff that's like come out this year. And then yeah, like AoE and Monster Hunter, which are just like, I feel like I've played this year a lot of like just time sink games.
So much.
Like normally, like I'm all about, I play like loads of Game Pass indies. I don't think I've got one completion yet this year because I've just like every game I seem to play at the moment is like at least 20 hours long. Everything seems to be.
Like, when we get to our end of year stats, I think your stats are going to be pretty hefty, more than last year. Especially on Xbox. Like, obviously, I know you've played the Switch actually quite a bit this year, and like there's games that have come out in the last sort of year and a half that you've played this year you haven't played, and you still haven't really. I don't think you've bought. Did you buy the new Kirby?
I bought
Standard Kirby. Like, so that's that the
Kirby.
only Switch game you've bought that's come out this year?
I
Because
bought Metroid.
you got Dread off
Prime
me.
as well.
Oh, you bought Prime. Okay, but you haven't finished. You finish Prime? Didn't you? Finish Prime?
No, I got so far, and then the checkpoint started to annoy me, and I've never.
You remembered it was a game from 2002, and then it was
Yeah.
So like realistically for you, like probably done on Switch because you should play Tears of the Kingdom, but obviously you still need to play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Because it's literally a direct sequel. But yeah, very Xbox heavy Craig this year. I feel like it's going to be, and I'm sure we'll talk about at some point that potentially not a lot of first party in that. Again.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's still things like fucking Hogwarts and Star Wars I want to go back and play, which are also long ass games. It's
been very good opening to the year, to be honest.
Yeah. It's crazy now, isn't it? How like every year starts like this.
Yeah.
Just fucking crazy.
Lovely, Craigo. Well, we'll move on to me before we get to the controversy that is Pengals. And I've had a very up and down year because I haven't really finished much. I've been very busy which I know is like such a cop out, but my gaming at the moment is kind of been like Craig. It's the time sinks have taken the limited gaming time I have. So I've started Hogwarts and I've started Hi-Fi Rush and I've started Fire Emblem Engage that have come out this year. But I really haven't got very far in them. I was really enjoying Hogwarts. Then I went to America for 2.5 weeks and come back and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. So like a game like that is just going to get thrown to the wayside, probably get sold before I finish it, purely because I've no idea. Like I'm not in the zone anymore. That's why I haven't pre-ordered like Jedi, because I'm like, I've got so many games, like I can't be doing that. So my games of the year so far are the Game Pass games. Like I've played 35, 40 hours of Monster Hunter Rise. I've played 57 hours of Age of Empires 2. You know, like I've started the Forza Horizon DLC. Like I'll probably finish that next week, and games like that. But there's not a lot from this year that I'm like that's my game of the year so far, because I just haven't finished anything. You know, which is kind of funny, which is a pun, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think the next couple of weeks mine will change quite dramatically, and I'll have something to say towards the end of the year. But I think it's very much a catch-up year, like Craig said. There's so many games that have come out. Like I forgot, Hogwarts, Dead Space, and Resident Evil 4 should be enough, let alone Hi-Fi Rush, Dead Island 2 being a surprise good. Like Redfalls comes out tomorrow. I know that's not reviewing great, but like it's still coming out. You've got Engage, you've got Advance Wars, you've got Metroid Prime Remaster, you've got Xenoblades DLC, you've got Tears of the Kingdom next week, whatever it is, like 2 weeks time. You've got this, you've got that, you've got Horizon Forbidden West DLC. You've got all this content.
There's literally overwhelming, you know. It's like every week it's like, oh, there's another two big games come
Yeah,
out.
there's another 80 plus rated game or DLC coming out that's like 20
Yeah.
hours long. Like, me and Craig can't even, like, I own almost everything. I don't own PSVR 2. There's that. There's like, I know we've memed it a little bit, but there has been content for it. Like, you know what I mean? And then you've got Steam. There's all these indie games that like I haven't even looked at, because I can't get past what I'm playing now. Have I got time for the Case of Benedict Fox? Like, I haven't got time. I haven't got time for the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a little indie game. You know what I mean? Like these type of releases, I'm like, okay, well, I will get to them, but I don't know when that's going to be. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty strong year. It's funny to me because I think first party wise, it's been kind of weak from everyone apart from Nintendo, and Nintendo has just been very remaster heavy. But like, I don't think PlayStation and Xbox have really done anything worth talking about so far, to be perfectly honest, unless I'm missing something obvious.
Hi-Fi Lush.
Yeah,
very
Hi-Fi
much.
Rush, I guess, is the obvious one. That was a bit of a surprise game, but that's about it, really. And again, I didn't
Yeah,
finish that. I played one level of that, loved it, and just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, there's been basically nothing on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's been PSVR and DLC. But again,
Yeah, and then there's not been anything from Sony since like launched itself first party.
yeah, and I think it's one of those things with Sony. The PlayStation selling so well, they doesn't care. They're fine. Like they'll have Spider-Man will come out at the end of the year and be one of the games we talk about for Game of the Year. Like I don't think there's any doubt in that team. So it's like, okay, just do what you got to do. And obviously Xbox is just I don't really want to have an Xbox rant again, but it is like, oh, I mean Gamecast is great, but like can we just get some wins for just PR more than anything? Let's just get a win. Let's just get a PR win where a game comes out that people love for more than like a day, which is what was Hi-Fi Rush's problem. But yeah, again, I don't know. We've talked about it on the show. Like we, as people that use Game Pass all the time, I think we've done pretty well so far this year. Like really, like you've got all the Persona games as well. We haven't played blah blah blah, but yeah, for the general media, it would be nice if Starfield comes out and is a 9 out of 10. You know, but we will see. We will see, but obviously we've got to get to again the second main part of the show, because this is just the Chris Pengelly show at this point. The man that's bought and played every game that's come out this year, Chris Pengelly. What is hitting your top 3-ish for games of the year so far?
Right. So I've got a list. I've been ranking what I've played in games and expansions. I've actually put it
Okay.
as.
How many games is this?
It's currently on games and expansion finished. This is finished of 2023. It's 24.
Jesus Christ! I think I finished 4 games.
But obviously some of them, like my number one game I've played this year is Last of Us Part 1. Well, obviously that's come out like, was it 12 months ago or something? It came out
So
on
not
PS5.
really applicable then for the.
No, so that's not applicable. So the best thing I played this year is obviously Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Future Redeemed, which is DLC for that game, but it is chunky at 18 hours long. You know, it's longer than a lot of games I've played on this list. Like I said, there's a game that's 5 minutes long on this list, so and you know that's sort of thing. That's fantastic. Like I said, it's moved Xenoblade Chronicles 3 itself up on my Switch list and on my all-time list as well because it's such a good JRPG. It does playing that though. I guess slight spoilers. I'm not a huge fan of Rex, but I do like Shulk. So out of the two other Xenoblade games, I may play the first one before the second one, even though that sounds logical anyway. The first one before the second one, but I've played them in a weird order anyway. So what's another weird order? Then to keep it on the Nintendo track is Bayonetta Origins: Trace and the Lost Demon, which was pretty great. It's like weirdly sort of come out of nowhere because I remember I had that like trailer. Was it at the Game Awards in just January? No, not because it came out this year. I feel it was like just dropped out of a trade. Yeah, it was the Game Awards last year, wasn't it? Where they had the first for the trailer, and it's like it's coming next month, sort of thing.
Yeah, there wasn't a huge build up to it. It was,
There wasn't a hill build up, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's different to Bayonetta, and it's different to like what Platinum sort of does." But yeah, it's really good. I describe it as like Okami because it has got a lot of like Zelda elements, like an Okami, which is apt for Platinum, and obviously the art style with like a Child of Light or something like that because it's obviously like Alice Wonderland, like storybook folklore thing mixed in, like with the dungeons and stuff like that of an Okami. So that's pretty good. And then get my third game of the year is Fire Emblem Engage. So again, keeping on with Nintendo, which I put, I think it's over 50 hours, but I did play the DLC as well for that game. Again, it's pretty good. If you wouldn't count Xenoblade, then it would be Metroid Prime Remastered would be the next one. And again, that's a remaster. Then it would be Murder of the Sonic the Hedgehog after that, though. Basically, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, but that's coming across, Pingy.
Yeah. So if Nintendo game liked, if it's not Nintendo, not as big a fan. But I've basically my list is pretty much all Nintendo stuff though. It's got like Kirby on here, for instance, which I played. Fire Emblem Fates Revelations, which obviously was very old on the 3DS, but that's Nintendo I played. And then the indies like Space for the Unbound, played it again on my Switch, works great, for the Switch with its art style and all that sort of thing. Yeah, so if it wasn't for the Switch, it would be pretty sort of barren, I think.
That's fair. Is there anything you're desperate to play that you've missed?
Well, obviously I've picked up a lot of games, but again, the ones I've picked up have been like your Dredge, Cult of Lamb, obviously last year I missed, where there's been these like smaller indie titles that's getting physical release. Is this that sort of thing? That's like the missed game for me. There's nothing else I can like think of, and then it's just looking forward to Zelda in 10 days' time.
Lovely. Well, that was a very quick look at our games of the year so far. But yeah, it's been a mixed year, I think, so far as we go into May now. But I think it is all about to get crazy. Obviously, Jedi Survivor's just come out. That could be Craig's next big third-person action game. It's almost like you should just get a PlayStation at this point, Craig. It's you've become everything you hate.
more just the old horror games at the moment.
Right. Hopefully that'll stop. We don't need any more horror games. People can stop making them.
Yeah.
Let's make some happy platformers about
No,
with,
get Silent
animals.
Hill 2. That'd be great.
Alone in the Dark.
Mm.
And then yes, thank you for watching this episode of the Pod of War Gamescast. If you have had a good year so far and there's some games you want to talk about, let us know in the comments below. But I've been your Gizmo, and I will see you next time.
Bye.